Good evening, Stevens Point. I'm Chris Watkins.
And I'm Rachael Ellis.
And this week on SPTV News, we have the city of Stevens Point planning for over 13 miles of bike lanes, 2 pointers heading to the Wrestling National Championship, and a famous stand-up comic performing at UWSP.
All of this and more when we return.
From the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, this is your SPTV News with Rachael Ellis and Chris Watkins.
Stevens Point's lawmakers plan to make riding bikes in town safer. SPTV's Jen Richardson has the story.
Safely maneuvering the busy streets of Stevens Point on a bike can be difficult at times. The city's Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee has just applied for a grant to implement their plan to add over 13 miles worth of bike lanes to Stevens Point.
What this does is it provides pre-planned safe routes. Rather than riding on Division Street, for example, which is already very narrow, we can provide alternative bike routes that are a little bit safer, less congested, and market those so you can safely travel from one part of town to the other.
Mayor Wiesa explained that the plan would also cover maps and bicycle safety education. This bike safety initiative does not come without a cost. The grant will cover 80%, which is just over $400,000. The city would be required to pay about $100,000 as well as the recurring maintenance costs.
It's rather significant. We're looking at a fair amount of money to repaint those stripes every year, but like I said, I've got the Director of Public Works looking into what the costs are going to be versus maybe buying our own machine to do our striping ourselves, and spread that cost over a longer period of time rather than just once every 7 years. It would also cover the cost of printing materials and advertising, just making people aware that we do have bike routes planned and make sure that the bicyclists know what the rules of the road are.
The grant application is currently being reviewed by the state. Wiesa said that without this money, there will not be enough funding to create the bike lanes, but they will not give up on bike safety altogether. There is already a county-wide plan in place, and the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee is constantly coming up with new ideas. For SPTV News, I'm Jen Richardson.
The safety plans don't stop with bicyclists. In spring, the city will install a pedestrian-activated light that will flash, indicating to motorists that people will be crossing. This will be placed at the intersection of Franklin and Division.
This month, in honor of Women's History Month, the sorority Sigma Delta Rho is featuring a UWSP woman each day of the month. Laura Campo and Ji-Sung Kim have more on the story.
March is internationally considered Women's History Month, and to celebrate this, UWSP sorority Sigma Delta Rho is featuring a different accomplished UWSP woman each day of the month in their Facebook page.
Each day it's a different person that has made some form of impact on campus. We want everyone to be aware that people can make history in their own little way and their own little area in society. Like, we had a lot of people. We have 31 women, and there's way more that could be on the page. We have 31 women that have made an impact at UW Stevens Point.
Riddhi Gandhi spoke about her reaction to being recognized by the sorority.
Well, I found out today in the morning on Facebook, and I had a lot of notifications, so it was pretty cool. Like, I feel very honored that I was recognized because I do work really hard to achieve my goals, and I'm thankful that I got chosen because I know it's a big honor. Only 31, or is it 30 this month? 30 females get chosen this month, so it's a big honor.
Make sure to check out Sigma Delta Rho's Facebook page for more information on the featured women. For SPTV News, with Ji-Sung Kim, I'm Laura Campo.
Other UWSP organizations have been celebrating Women's History Month through events like Love Your Body Week and a Gender Inequalities Workshop.
UWSP students met and spoke with anchor Rebecca Ribley, journalist Emily Thornton, and sports director Brandon Kennard from WAOW last Friday in the CAC. The members of this Wausau News team talked about job hunting, their experiences at work, and more. They mentioned that networking is an important part of the broadcasting field, and although the hours are unusual, the work is very rewarding. Students that attended the event said they learned a lot by hearing the professional stories.
Century Insurance donated $4 million to UWSP this Tuesday, which is the biggest donation the school has ever received. As a result, a new data analytics major is being proposed to the Board of Regents. The program will consist of business, computer science, economics, and geographic information systems classes. The donation also endows the college with 2 faculty positions, one in computational analytics and the other in business analytics. University officials hope that the analytics program will be ready by next semester.
350 Stevens Point is a sustainability-focused organization on campus. Noble Runman has more on the story.
350 Stevens Point is an organization on campus that focuses on sustainability and preserving natural resources. Zach Jones, the vice president of 350 Stevens Point, says that the group is a part of a larger worldwide organization.
And they focus primarily on reducing carbon emissions, so they pressure governments and institutions to lower their emissions and fight for laws that'll do that, and also they'll do like direct actions and stuff, anything that is fighting for those environmental kind of issues.
Jones said that the group is currently making a push for Stevens Point to stop the use of plastic bags.
Right now we're doing a Ban the Bag campaign, and we're trying to get the city of Stevens Point to not allow the use of plastic bags in the city.
Robbie Abrahamian, the public relations coordinator for 350 Stevens Point, said that the group appeals to all different types of people.
We have a lot of natural resources students, but I think this is a unique club in that we have a lot of people who are art students, we have a lot of people who are business and economics or sociology or whatever. A lot of the C&R clubs like SWAMP and AWRA and Students for Sustainability, the Forest, American Forester, Society of American Foresters, those are all primarily natural resources people, whereas here we have a really good mix. Spanish majors, we have international studies, anthropology, whatever, and I think that's really interesting.
Abrahamian encourages people to be more informed about how their own decisions impact the environment.
Well, I guess I would just encourage people to find out, some of these issues that are going on. Like look at your daily life, look at your lifestyle, and figure out if there's any way that you can cut back on your use of resources, or if you can cut back on waste.
350 Stevens Point is open to both students and community members. For SPTV, I'm Noble Runman.
350 Stevens Point meets every Monday at 8 p.m. in the CPS building in room 116.
UWSP Student Government Association elections will be held Monday through Wednesday. The ballot will be sent through the UWSP email system. Students can vote for president, vice president, and senators from each of the colleges. These elected officials will represent UWSP students in regards to campus policies and more. UWSP presidential candidates will be debating in room 378 in the DUC at 5 p.m. tonight. We will keep you updated.
Do you like pancakes? IHOP certainly does. In fact, they have a day devoted just to pancakes. SPTV's JJ Luther has more.
This past Tuesday, March 8th, was National Pancake Day. More than 1,500 IHOP restaurants across the country invited guests to enjoy a complimentary stack of IHOP signature delicious pancakes. The event went on from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Guests were also encouraged to make a voluntary contribution to their local Children's Miracle Network hospital. 100% of the donations helped local charities provide equipment and life-saving procedures for sick children. I visited my local IHOP and found out how they did on this delicious day of pancakes.
Do you think, an event like this is important for the community to have?
Yes, it is. It's important for a number of reasons. Like I said, also it gives family a nice environment to come in and sit down and chill and eat their food and have good family conversation, as well as for the kids as well, because they get to eat different kinds of pancakes with smiley faces on them and stuff like that. Different type of fruits and stuff like that can be put on pancakes.
I was told that my local IHOP had a fantastic turnout.
For SPTV News, I'm JJ Luther.
Whether it's blueberry, chocolate, or original, IHOP has it all for National Pancake Day.
Blueberry pancakes are one of my favorite foods ever. I love pancakes.
Yes, the whole pancake/breakfast family, waffles, pancakes, French toast, and the butter pecan syrup at IHOP. Ooh. Heavenly.
Yes, if I could, I would eat breakfast food all of the time.
You just gave me like half of my spring break plans, like right here on the spot. Thank you in advance.
Yeah, no problem.
NAMI is an organization on campus dedicated to ending the stigma of mental illness. SPTV's Noble Runman has more.
The National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI, is an organization that fights to end the stigma associated with mental illness.
Unfortunately, there's a lot that surrounds mental health conditions, a lot of assumptions that are made by people in regards to them, and NAMI is first and foremost a national org that works to end stigma.
Aaron Semino, the president of NAMI at UWSP, says that the group also helps people with mental illness to find support.
And also helps people find resources such as support groups, hotlines, any kind of resource in the community that's available to them, may they need a resource in regards to mental health.
Semino explained how she decided to start a chapter on campus.
A friend of mine mentioned to me that this organization existed and that campus chapters were a thing, but we just didn't have a campus chapter here in Point. So I looked into it a little bit more and found that it was pretty easy to start a campus chapter, both on NAMI's end and then on the university's end.
Cassie Weigold, the vice president of this chapter, said that Semino introduced the idea to her this past summer.
I was in a summer psychology course with Erin, our president, and she had mentioned that she was interested in this organization. I had never heard of it before, and she wanted to start it. So a bunch of us from class actually sat down and started the paperwork this past summer, and it's been eye-opening and amazing.
Weigold says that this organization is for everyone.
I've had friends who have come up to me and said, well, I don't want to join that org, it's not for me. And then they start talking about things that they've experienced or situations that they've dealt with, and without realizing it, this org is exactly for that.
NAMI meets every Tuesday at 5:30 in the DUC, room 236. For SPTV, I'm Noble Runman.
To learn more about NAMI, visit their Facebook page.
A Wisconsin native journalist, filmmaker, and educator is coming to the Wausau area to talk about the history of tribes in Wisconsin. Patricia Lowe is originally from Milwaukee and received her education in journalism at UW-La Crosse. She was the previous anchor at the ABC affiliate WKOW-TV in Madison. Lowe will train and educate others on the history of American Indians that originated from Wisconsin. She will focus mainly on how their history is portrayed in schools today. This is open to all ages and the public on Friday, March 18th at 9 a.m. The discussion will be held at the Jefferson Street Inn.
The faculty and staff of the Gay/Straight Alliance will be hosting a screening of the film How to Win at Checkers. It is a coming-of-age story about a young boy named Oak and his efforts to rescue his gay older brother from being drafted into the Thai military. This film has been submitted for Best Foreign Picture to the 2016 Academy Awards. This event will take place on Monday, March 14th at the Dreyfus University Theater.
UWSP students, faculty, and members of the Stevens Point community tasted various Wisconsin-made food and drink this past weekend. SPTV's Cody Bouchon has more.
Last week Friday in the Laird Room was an event that has become quite popular from its humble beginnings in 2004.
This event is about showing what Wisconsin can do, what we do best is beer, wine, food.
The Taste of Wisconsin has grown at least 4 times its size since then.
This year we have 35 different vendors, and that's a record for this event, but kind of by mistake. Didn't know I was supposed to get this much, so this might be the most we'll ever have.
The community members and students all recognize the importance of this event.
It lets people from the whole community experience a little bit of what we have to offer and kind of showcases the campus as part of that.
Just giving like local businesses exposure and a new clientele or getting more revenue in the community overall.
Not everyone that worked at the event left campus, as there were student workers present.
We have 14 student employees right now, and they are working at various stations. And sometimes with these vendors that we get, life's too busy for them, so we have them able to cover their table.
We have a staff of probably 6 or 7 students working last night, working during the day to make sure everything's clean and everything's in order. Right now we actually have 2 or 3 students monitoring the whole thing and kind of paying attention to what the vendors need as well.
Each year brings a new spread of wine, beer, cheese, and more. Attendees of this year's event say that they are looking forward to seeing the lineup in 2017.
Beware, it's almost that time of year when we battle with mosquitoes. Schmeeckley Reserve is mad about mosquitoes and are having an event to teach people the important roles that these insects have for our world. You will learn more about their day-to-day life as you walk through the Nature Center. Make sure you dress accordingly to the weather, and the walkthrough will be held on Friday, March 18th at 5:15 p.m. The group will meet at the Schmeeckley Reserve Visitor Center.
UWSP's International Club will be hosting their 46th annual International Dinner and Entertainment. This year's theme is Treasured Memories, Growing Up Around the World, and will include homemade meals and performances by international students. This event will take place Saturday, April 2nd at the DUC. SPTV will update you on the event.
The Knights of Columbus Council is having their monthly breakfast and bake and craft sale later this month. On the menu, you will find pancakes, scrambled eggs, sausage, their famous home-fried red potatoes, and much more. The cost for adults will be $6.50 and $4 for children. It will begin at 8:30 a.m. and go on until 11 o'clock on Sunday, March 20th. You can find the clubhouse on 401 West Clark Street in Stevens Point.
And that's all we have for news today. Ben Zitouni has the latest in sports when we return.
Want to see a news show from behind the scenes? Feel free to stop by the studio to check out SPTV News on Thursdays at 5 p.m. We're always looking for more volunteers both on air and off to join our team. Stop by room 118 and 130 in the Communications Arts Center if you'd like to learn more about it or just to say hello.
Like to talk about sports? Join Final Take every Tuesday at 4 p.m. At Final Take, anything pointers, anything sports.
And now, Ben Zitouni with your SPTV Sports.
Welcome back. The Stevens Point women's basketball team season came to an end Saturday in the Berg Gym with a 62-59 loss to second-ranked George Fox in the second round of the NCAA tournament.
While Spash may be competing
Joanne Wolfenberg led the Pointers with 16 points and 10 rebounds, and Lauren Anklem finished with 9 points and 4 rebounds. The UWSP women's hockey team saw their season come to an end as well at the hands of UW River Falls for the third straight season by a score of 4-1 Saturday afternoon in River Falls. Logan Harper had the lone goal for the Pointers. The men's hockey team beat UW River Falls by a score of 4-3 in double overtime on Saturday night in the WEAC Conference Tournament Championship game to win the Commissioner's Cup. The Pointers were up by 3 goals, courtesy of goals by Alex Brooks, Drew Graves, and Kyle Sharkey. The River Falls then tied the game with 3 goals, all in the third period. After a scoreless first overtime, the Pointers won the game in the second overtime period, courtesy of a goal by Lawrence Cornelia. The Pointers will face the Adrian Bulldogs on Saturday, March 19th, in the NCAA tournament at a site yet to be determined. The Pointers wrestling team has 2 wrestlers going to the national championships held March 11th through 12th in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Ben Vosters is seated 7th at 125 pounds, and Logan Hermson is seated 5th at 165 pounds. Vosters will face the winner of CJ Pistano and Asher Kramer. Hermson will wrestle Timothy Garapoli. For many high school seniors, this may be their last shot at playing basketball. However, for 2 Spash seniors, they won't ride off into the sunset just yet. SPTV's Nathan Hansen has more.
While Spash may be competing for a state championship now, seniors Trevor Anderson and Sam Hauser will be playing Division I collegiate basketball next year. Trevor Anderson will be attending the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay on a scholarship. A few factors weighed on his decision.
Green Bay, I just kind of felt like it was home. Every time I go over there and talk with the coaches and meet with the players and stuff, they just make me feel like I'm part of the family. And I like the fact that it was close to home. That's a big part of my decision. My grandpa hasn't missed a game through 4 years here at Spash, so I know he wouldn't want to miss too many games in the college setting either. So I think being close to home and the fact that I had such a good relationship with the coaching staff and players is the two biggest reasons.
Sam Hauser will be attending Marquette University on scholarship. Being a Golden Eagle was too enticing to pass up.
I picked Marquette because I like the coaching staff a lot. I like the direction the program's headed, and just everything about the campus and the feel for it I just liked, and that's why I chose Marquette.
With Green Bay and Marquette on the rise, the additions of these two top in-state prospects will only make these two programs stronger.
The Spash Stars play in the sectional semifinal against Superior tonight at Wausau West in their last high school playoff run. Well, guys, March Madness is coming around.
Indeed.
A lot of conference tournaments this week, selection Sundays. This Sunday, you guys excited?
Oh, I am very, very excited. I have never done a bracket before, but this year we're going to change that. So we'll see what happens.
Chris,
yeah.
what about, I know your Duke Blue Devils lost today, so
Well, then,
what are your
Rachael,
expectations?
March is my favorite time of the year. I love March Madness, and instantly when I think of March Madness, I harken back not to today's loss, but to last year when my defending national champion Duke Blue Devils beat your Wisconsin Badgers for everything. So I love March.
Yeah, I think about that too, but I try to put it in the back. It wasn't a very pleasant memory for me, but I always look forward to this time of year. I usually have 4 or 5 brackets going, enter a couple pools, but I always like coming up with brackets. It's fun to look back once the tournament's done and see where you went wrong and where the upsets were.
Indeed, indeed.
I completely agree, and we'll see where mine takes me this year. Who knows? And up next, Justine Luther has your latest in SPTV entertainment news. We'll be right back.
Laid a lot of memories down like tattoos on this town. You belong with me in my sweetheart. There'll be no sunshine if I lose you, baby. There'll be no clear skies if our love's insanity. Boy, are you my clarity?
All of the music's here on PMTV Late Night. Catch PMTV running all night long only on SPTV.
Let's have a party. Let's have a party.
And now, Justine Luther with your latest in SPTV entertainment.
Are you a fan of poetry? Do you like to write and perform your own pieces? Well, what about writing intentionally bad poetry? Last night, the University Writers Club held their first bad poetry contest in the library. SPTV's Nicole Pfeiffer and Rachael Ellis had the scoop.
I'm here at the University Writers Club's Bad Poetry Competition, where students and faculty alike get to share their creativity in a friendly environment without judgment. From middle school students to faculty members, participants felt comfortable enough to share their poems in front of a small audience.
I mean, it's actually been a while since I got to write something, so the idea of a bad poetry contest was nice because it was something that I could do without having to feel self-conscious about whether or not the poem was any good.
Participants got their inspiration from a variety of sources, from popular songs to daily activities.
Well, I was sitting in my room and I was trying to be creative, but nothing was really happening in my brain. And then my little Yorkie came in and he just started barking. So I just started writing about a Yorkie.
The judges scored works based on audience reaction. The top 3 winners will be published in the collection of student works, The Angry Pursuit of Happiness, which is published through UWSP's publisher, Barney Street.
I don't want to be a onomatopoeia. You catch and make too loud. Shameful how you're proud. Ha, 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 ha.
The mellow atmosphere and support from peers, the event was one that was encouraging to even the most nervous students. Due to the success of the competition, the university writers hope to be able to have similar events in the future.
We thought it would be something fun and a little different, something that might get people who were like, oh, poetry, that's hard, just to give something a little bit more lighthearted and oh, if you're not that good, it doesn't matter because it's just kind of fun.
It's way more interactive with the audience too. Like they get way more into it than just a normal.
Yeah. And they're so much more relaxed. Obviously, you could tell from the crowd tonight that we're all kind of relaxed and we would laugh about it. And, you know, I like that a lot of people were so nervous and they were like, okay, I'm nervous, but I'm going to do this anyway. And I think that being in a kind of comedic setting allows them to be more relaxed.
Reporting for SPTV News with Rachael Ellis, I'm Nicole Pfeiffer.
The club is looking to put on more events in the upcoming weeks. Visit their Facebook page for more details, or you can attend their meetings every Monday night in the CCC room 232 at 7 p.m. Lights, camera, action. UWSP students are encouraged to use iPhones and/or cameras to produce short films for the Out on Screen Film Fest. The films must reflect the diverse lives and experiences of LGBTQ individuals and their allies. The videos can be no longer than 15 minutes in length and must be submitted online by April 4th. Selected shorts will be screened on Monday, April 11th to wrap up GSA's Pride Week. Last Saturday, UWSP students were in for a night of laughs as comedian Rob O'Reilly made a special appearance on campus, bringing with him a plethora of jokes. SPTV's Chris Watkins has more.
For award-winning comedian Rob O'Reilly, life on stage, whether it was an appearance on The Tonight Show or here at UWSP, wasn't always a comfortable one. I sat down with Rob to find out just how he began his road to stardom.
I had a Spanish teacher that encouraged me to do something for a talent show, and so I started writing jokes, and she let me try out my jokes on the class. And the night before that, I did them for some friends, and it went horribly. I got like 0 laughs, so like 3 people.
O'Reilly also shared a couple of universal yet valuable tips on how to develop a strong on-stage presence.
Really, like getting good at doing stand-up is a lot about getting stage time. It's just get on stage as much as you can, write as much as you can in the off time. It's like anything, like the amount of work you put into it ends up, paying off basically.
O'Reilly is currently on tour with upcoming appearances in Ohio and New York respectively. To view more of Rob's work, be sure to check out his social media accounts for different sketch shows, skits, and jokes. For SPTV News, I'm Chris Watkins.
You can learn more about future guests and shows by visiting Centertainment's page on the UWSP website. American storyteller, graphic novelist, and UW-Madison professor Linda Berry will be speaking at UWSP. Berry created the syndicated Ernie's Pooks comic strip, which ran in alternative weeklies for more than 30 years. She has been profiled by the New York Times Magazine and NPR Radio for her writing unthinkable workshops. She has won numerous awards, including the Lifetime Visual Arts Award and the Eisner Award for Best Reality-Based Graphic Novel. The event will take place on April 13th at 7:30 in the Noel Fine Arts Center. Quit in Time Music series will be featuring a 2-hour hip-hop concert this week. JV and Lady will be putting on a show in the Brewhouse. They will be performing uplifting music with a smooth vibe. Both of these artists are from Milwaukee. The performance will be from 4 to 6 p.m. on Friday. That is all the entertainment we have for you tonight. SPTV will be right back after the break.
Reporting for SPTV, I'm Rachael Ellis.
Noble Run.
Ben Zitouni.
Milica Mitrovic.
Jen Richardson.
Sarah Burkhardt.
Nathan Hansen.
Nicole Pfeiffer.
JJ Luther.
I'm Chris Watkins.
So guys, spring break is right around the corner. Who's excited?
Me,
This girl,
definitely.
for sure.
I definitely am. It feels like forever ago that Christmas break came around, so I'm just happy to be going home and getting some home-cooked meals.
Yes, I completely agree. I cannot wait for some pasta. That and Daredevil season 2 is coming out. So yeah, it's gonna be good. What about you guys?
I have a 2-step plan for once I touch down in Maryland. Go to Chipotle, go to IHOP. The 3rd step, repeat as much as I can over the next week.
You're really still trusting Chipotle after all their recent troubles getting everybody sick?
They're getting better
Ben,
now.
don't scare me, please.
Yeah, no, they're getting better now. It's gonna be all right.
I'll be praying for you, Chris.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's my last spring break here at UWSP, so it's kind of bittersweet. I was going to go on vacation, but I decided just to kind of stay around and hang out with friends and just have a good time, so it should be good.
Nice. Yeah. It should be enjoyable for all of us.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, that is all we have for you guys this week. We will not, unfortunately, be having news for the next 2 weeks because of spring break, but make sure you keep yourself updated on SPTV's social media pages. We hope you all have a safe and relaxing spring break, and until next time, Stevens Point, have a great night.